Ragnarok M Classic, released on February 14th for PC and mobile and based on the original Ragnarok Online, which I unfortunately never got the chance to play, but they have graciously sponsored today's video and I couldn't be more grateful, as opportunities such as this allows me to continue doing what I do, which is bringing you guys the free content in which I pour hundreds of hours into. So check out the description or the pinned comment to download Ragnarok M Classic today. Now, just for a brief history of Ragnarok Online, this was a very popular Korean MMO released by Gravity Inc. all the way back in 2002. Today, we're taking a look at Ragnarok M Classic, also released by Gravity Inc., and features a more modern imagination of the original while staying true to the core style and elements which made Ragnarok so popular. Classic features no pay-to-win by using a single currency for everything in the game known as Zeny. The emphasis is solely on players having fun through questing and embarking on nostalgic adventures in the original style. So without further ado, let's get started creating a character. When you boot up Ragnarok M Classic, you're dropped into this vibrant anime-style world with a super clean interface. You get to pick your character's looks, hair, colors, all that. I went for a white fade with a mullet with a man bun, because why not? The game doesn't overwhelm you with too many options, which is great for beginners like me. I named myself Waydot and loaded into the game. Now, the game's all about that classic Ragnarok Online vibe, so you're building your character through quests and effort, and then you're thrown into the world of Midgards. The art style is nostalgic with cute sprites, colorful towns, and that retro MMO feel. The interface features a nameplate, a chat box, 6 slots for abilities in typical Ragnarok fashion, and furthermore some menus, a minimap, and a quest tracker. You start things off in this town called Prontera, and let me tell you, it's lively. There's NPCs everywhere, players running around, and the intro quests ease you in, which is perfect for someone like me who's new to Ragnarok. You talk to the NPCs, you learn the ropes, and you get a feel for the story. There's this whole world of Midgards to explore. There's more towns and plenty of dungeons and hidden secrets. But the best part is knowing that this game's built for pure fun. There's no microtransaction nonsense. Everything revolves around Zeny, the in-game currency you earn by playing. You can buy everything in the game that would further benefit your account by acquiring Zeny, and this currency is literally everywhere. You get it from completing quests, killing any monsters, completing rifts or dungeons or dailies. Basically, if it rewards you, there's a good chance you'll be getting some Zeny. There's no in-game shops for real-life money, and all in all, it's nice to play a game that feels fair. Another thing important to mention is that they give you a free monthly pass just for logging in. This is basically a battle pass feature that comes with perks like bonus XP and cool headgears with no paywall. I was like, wait, this is free? For life? Insane value. But let's move on to some progression. You start the game by going through dialogue and participating in some small quests as you're introduced to a host of characters. You fight some porrings, which are these small little purple guys, and combat is pretty basic to start things off, considering I don't have access to any of my abilities just yet. This quest culminated in me fighting this giant porling, which took quite some time, but upon defeating him, I leveled up. My actual level and also my job. You see, there are 2 separate levels, your base level and your job level, which is correlated to your skill points and abilities. Your job is basically your class. I also got this novice eggshell blueprint, and using that, I was able to craft my first headgear, an eggshell, which looked awesome. Since I leveled up, I was able to apply some skill points, and you can use the recommended builds guide on the side, which will automatically apply them, or you can manually put them in yourself if you're going for something a bit different. One important thing to know about Ragnarok Classic is that the core of this game is grinding. After a few more intro quests, I was level 5 and job level 5 when I was asked to kill some of these excited Fabers. And you can actually set your character to auto-fight these enemies by using this super easy interface in the bottom right. You can select which enemies you want to fight, and you can even set your character to use potions or consumables at certain points in time. You can also set this to offline battle while you're away from your PC or phone, which is super cool. And finally, this is the end of the tutorial, kind of. The first few quests culminate in a pretty intense boss fight against this Frioni. He did a decent amount of damage, but I managed to take him down, and afterwards I was level 7 in both my job and class. And also, I was rewarded with my first mount. This chicken sort of chocobo guy made getting around a lot easier. I love when games give you early mounts. Anyway, before continuing on, I decided to check out a few more of the interfaces. Here you can see the free monthly pass, my inventory, and my character sheet showing all of my equipped items and everything else as well. Here's where you can find your skills, which you can slot into your action bar, and furthermore, the adventure Adventurer's Handbook, which is a highly detailed guide showing you basically everything you can find in the game. From an album of all monsters to all headgear to every achievement you can think of. You want to constantly be checking the notifications in your Adventurer's Handbook because completing them rewards experience and sometimes other things as well. After this, I took a look at the guild page where you can apply to join up with guilds. Obviously, I was far too low level for most of these, they seemed a little bit more competitive, but by using the filters, I was able to find a beginner's guild. It's actually recommended that you join a guild pretty quickly, as this gets you access to stat bonuses through the guild blessing, as well as guild events and challenges that can pretty significantly enhance your progression. You'll also get access to the guild hall, which is pretty awesome. Here you can meet up with your other guildmates, but also by teaming up with your guild to gather materials, you can build and upgrade parts of the hall, which will just give you more and more benefits. Anyway, at this point, and after following most of the main quests, I was already level 10, which meant I was ready for the job change quest. This is basically Ragnarok Classic's way of having you choose a class. The intro and the tutorial is meant to show you the basics, but now you're going to be thrust into the real game, focusing on one class. This is actually an awesome interface that shows you the 6 base classes that you can choose from, starting with the Swordsman, Mage, Thief, Archer, Acolyte, and Merchant. But each of those 6 base classes can be split into 2 subclasses when you progress further along. For example, the Swordsman can become a Knight or Crusader, and the Mage can become a Wizard or a Sage. The Merchant class in particular sounded really interesting. It can branch into a Blacksmith or an Alchemist, but staying true to my roots, I of course had to go with Mage. Well, I trialed the Mage anyway, as you can trial each and every one of these classes in order to see if that playstyle is something you'd be interested in. The Mage did plenty of AoE using all the different elements, and yep, this is right up my alley. So I made my way up and confirmed my choice as Mage. Now, it's important to know that you can change your job later on, if you feel like you're not enjoying the one you're currently playing. Apparently, this can be quite an expensive endeavor, not only in Zeny, but also requiring you to rebuild. But it is a possibility. Now that I was a mage, my character was dressed in more mage-appropriate clothing, and also my job level was reset to 1. I would be choosing different stats moving forward, and using the skills page, I was able to start putting skill points into skills and applying those to my action bar. And at this point, I just continued following quests and learning more about Ragnarok M Classic. The game features tons of zones that you'll be traveling between, which are indicated by levels on the map. I participated in a Rift dungeon, which are these really cool dungeons that you can participate in solo or with a group. They'll ramp up in difficulty as you level up, and they usually reward a bunch of experience, Zeny, as well as some gear. Next, I was shown the mercenary system, where you can basically assign a team of other NPCs to help you in combat, for rifts or dungeons, or even while you're offline. So I took these 4 cats with me, and they actually did quite a bit of damage, so it's totally worth it to bring them along. One important part of Ragnarok's progression is going to be through daily contracts. You can complete 3 of these every day. My first 3 wanted me to kill 25 enemies in 3 different areas, and they rewarded experience, Zeny, and some materials for progression. On top of that, Ragnarok features a card system, which revolves around equipping cards found on monsters to provide various stat bonuses and effects to your character. Cards can be socketed into gear, and some can be upgraded for even greater power. There's also these MVP cards, which are particularly very highly sought after for their powerful effects. Though with increased drop rates and an added amount of massive materials that are rewarded to your daily routine, players should be able to craft at least 1 MVP card per week. Now, Ragnarok also features equipment refinement. I know you're already sighing, thinking of the horrible RNG you've probably experienced and lost most of your money or materials in other games. However, in Ragnarok M Classic, they have a system known as Safe Refine, which allows you to refine any equipment up to plus 15 with a 100% success rate. So all in all, despite this not looking like the typical type of game I might normally play, especially on this channel, I'm being completely honest when I say I had an absolute blast playing Ragnarok Classic. It's a game that values the time you put into it, and with so many AFK features, it's super easy to play while doing basically anything else. So once again, I want to say a massive thank you to Ragnarok M Classic for sponsoring today's video. Don't forget that you can find the link in the top of the description or the pinned comment to get playing today. To everyone else, I'll catch you all in the next one. Later.